people will not take you seriously. Initially, LinkedIn was created to connect professional people together. But nowadays, what I'm seeing that people they are using LinkedIn for different purposes.
Hello and welcome back to the Diaries. Today we have a very famous media personality with us. Welcome, Solange.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We will start with Iman, who is extremely curious about what PR and corporate communication is all about. Because I work in PR, and personally, she keeps asking me what exactly PR is. And while I've tried my best, I think we would love if it comes from you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what exactly is like PR and how is it different from media? Because when we were going through your career history and all, you've mentioned these words like media, journalism, PR, personal branding, media training, all of these words were there. So we just wanted to know like what is the difference between those? What is the
Thank you
difference
for
between
this
PR and
question,
media?
and I'm very happy to be with you here today to discuss various topics of interest for your audience. I mean, if I want to quote Bill Gates when he mentioned, if I'm left with $1 in my marketing campaign, I would spend it on PR. So this is how important PR is. And public relations, I mean, if I want to define it, advertising and publicity is you're telling that your brand is important. PR, someone else is telling that your product, your brand, yourself are important.
Oh.
So it's in a natural way of advertising and informing the audience and people about your brand in a natural way. It's very important to have PR and to have visibility for yourself and for your brand. So, how all these topics are related and connected, whether it's media, public relations, marketing, personal branding. I mean, nowadays we live in a very fast moving world, and everyone is connected to the mobile. We all have access to our social media, to the technology, and this technology revolutions. It also takes that you have a strong presence to stand out among the crowd. So if you want to be someone unique, someone different, you have to have your own personal branding, your own PR connections. And I mean, like also another quote saying that you are who you know. So it's very important to have connections, to have your personal branding strong online, to be someone simply different and to compete in this fast moving industry.
So when you said that PR connections, right? How does, let's say if I the next day want to start PR, how do I build this connection or how do I even start? Because I don't know anyone other than this person.
I mean, it's very important to find a topic of your interest, something that's interesting for you. I mean, if you're interested in sustainability, you have to show up in events and panels and crowds related to sustainability. If you're interested in food and retail and makeup and beauty and whatever topic you're interested in, you have to show up to have to make your own research to find what's happening in town related to this topic, to show up to these events, to be consistent in your activities. So it takes a lot of efforts and it takes a lot of consistency, so people don't forget about you. So you participate in events, you talk to people related to this topic, you grow your network, whether online using social media, using LinkedIn, using your socials, or physically. Whenever you are out, you just have to be bold, introduce yourself, and get connected to people. I mean, this takes a lot of courage. Some people, they are shy to do this, and I have a lot of people around me. So whenever we are in public, they feel shy to talk to people. They are not sociable. They are not kind of approachable. So you have to be open, you have to be approachable, because it's all about connections, and people will refer you in the future, will talk about you, and you have to complete it and complement it with your presence online. So you have to have your account always active. You have to be responsive also, because a lot of times people, they approach me, they send me messages, whether social media, whether on LinkedIn. So you have to be responsive so people feel you are close to them and they can connect with you easily.
You know, when you mentioned that people are shy when it comes to events, that's literally me.
Yeah.
And there is this one tactic that was taught to me by this mentor. He's like, if you're shy at events, maybe go with a friend. And I am very hesitant when it comes to talking about myself. So they're like, don't talk about yourself. Maybe when you start with introducing your friends. So I'll be like, hey, I'm here with Iman. She's an amazing person.
Like a wingman.
Yeah, like a wingman. I'm like, she's into IT, cybersecurity. She does this cool thing. You know, start with introducing about somebody else, and then it bridges to you. But it gives both of you the platform to talk about both of you, and you are sort of, then you're out of your shell and you start talking.
Yeah.
And that's
it could be one area that you can introduce someone, but I prefer always to focus on yourself, because as people we are unique.
Yes.
We have something that always differentiate us from other people, from other individuals. So you have to prioritize yourself. Some people will call me selfish, but you have always to prioritize yourself and put yourself on top, and anything else comes after you. So you as person, you are proud of yourself, you are proud of your achievement. You're not hesitant to introduce yourself with all confidence, and to just mention your name whenever you are in an event. Just mention your name, do eye contact. Eye contact is very important to break the ice, to show your confidence in public. And then whatever it takes, like what will happen, you just introduce yourself and things will happen easily and smoothly after that, because you broke the ice and you introduced yourself, and you're just waiting for the other person to do the same. So this is how things start, and then you'll be very comfortable after that in the event, like connecting with people, introducing yourself to other people, growing your network. And then after, when you finish your event, whether at the same day or the next day, you have to send follow-up messages to the people that you have met, whether via email, to say like, it was a pleasure meeting with you, let's stay in touch, here's my social handles, my email, my mobile number. And this is how it goes. Like if you will stay at home doing nothing, just shy, and you don't have enough confidence to go outside and meet with people, this will not get you anywhere.
You just lose opportunities at that
opportunities
point.
are very important. And I mean, some people, they say like this person is lucky. There's nothing called luck, or like luck is when the opportunity overlap with this chance, with this opportunity. So if now get the chance to meet with Elon Musk at one event, so this is an opportunity. How can I call myself lucky if I take this opportunity, if I grab it and I turn it to my benefit, to my own profit? I introduce myself, I try to open discussion, and I build this connection with this person, and then this will transform into luck, into like deliverables. So this is luck. You have to be courage, you have to be confident. So whenever this opportunity happens, you are ready. There's something very interesting here. You always have to be ready. So when you get the chance, you don't have to get ready. So always be ready, like always be open, always be smiling, always be like open for discussion, positive. And then the opportunity will happen eventually.
It is technically, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yes,
because people don't
100%.
realize the hard work aspect that goes behind luck.
Yeah, exactly. So it takes a lot to be someone successful. I mean, success and hard work, like daily hard work, it's something like they come together in one package. But if you will just be laid back, if you will just be shy, if you will be scared of taking opportunities, this will take you nowhere. And then you will start blaming about your life. I'm not lucky enough. I'm not getting enough opportunity. You create to yourself the opportunities.
So, what advice would you give to someone? So, like, there was this huge event that occurred, GITEX, all right?
Yeah.
It's a huge event. People are networking left and right. It was a huge crowd. So, I obviously went there because I wanted to network, grow my connections, try to find some new opportunities. So, I went to that event going with this mindset. And when you talked about that eye contact, right, in such a huge event, like if I wanted to talk to someone, they're already busy talking to the other person. So like you get that discouraged at the same time. But in these sort of events, like when you're just meeting people constantly left and right, you're not even sure that they would respond to you, or like
I
when
mean,
when you send the follow-up, what advice would you give in these sort of scenarios?
let's be clear, let's be direct. I mean, not all the people that you will meet them in these events and even in your life, they are meant to continue with you all your life. So you will meet with like maybe 10 people, you will connect with 15 people, maybe one of them will respond, and maybe this person is more beneficial than all the 15 that you have met. So don't just limit yourself to the outcome that you will get from this short meeting. I mean, people are busy, you cannot open long discussions during this kind of events. It's very crowded, it's very busy, so you just have to connect. And whoever in the future, like out of, let's say, 10 people, if you will get you are lucky enough to connect with one person, and you never know this connection where it will take you, maybe to job opportunities, maybe to grow your business more, maybe to expand, maybe to introduce you to someone else that would help and support you. So you always have to be positive about everything in life. So don't count on just the number, like all these people, they have to get back to me and they have to connect with me and tomorrow we'll have coffee. No, it doesn't work like this. So you just build your connections, and maybe you will not use these connections instantly. Maybe you'll use them 1 year down the line. Like you will just remember, I met this person, I met Iman during GITEX, and I still remember that Iman is working in the PR industry. So I will get back to her, I will text her. Like it's you're building assets. You're growing your data, you're growing your connections and your network, and you're building your assets and growing your assets. So the capitalization on this doesn't have to be immediately. Maybe it will be like couple of months, years down the line.
That kind of makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's a lovely way of saying,
Yeah.
like building assets, because
Yes.
it's like a small bridge that you're building.
Yeah,
and
baby
someday,
steps.
Yeah, baby steps.
And I mean, nowadays, believe me, a database is the most valuable assets worldwide. It's even more valuable than bonds, even more valuable than gold, and even more valuable than real estate. And this is why all these social platforms, they are competing day after day to provide more services, to be on top of your favorite list. So because they are getting your data, they are getting your information, and then one time they will sell it, they will use it in a way or another. So data is very important. So you have to work on growing your database and growing your network.
I just want to follow up with Iman's question. So let's say you do connect with somebody at GITEX. I think the first step that you do right after would be connect on LinkedIn, which
Yeah.
is the very social media
Man,
cannot
they
be.
don't even accept that request.
No, let's just say we do connect on social media on LinkedIn. What would be your advice on how to present, let's say, a beginner like Iman and myself on social media, on LinkedIn, when you present yourself or
Yeah.
you profile yourself?
This is very interesting question. And my simple answer and quick one is you have to be professional. You have to show your professionalism so people take you seriously. So this is something that I face a lot when I participate in events. Some people, they directly jump to like asking for Instagram, asking for like the mobile number, or as so first, if you have your business card, you can present it to this person, your business card. If you don't have a business card, you have maybe a digital business card. You can just share your QR code, so this person scans your QR code and save you the details. And you connect through LinkedIn with a very professional manner. And then, as I mentioned before, you follow up the next day. You just say and send a nice message. That was nice talking and meeting, and it's kind of follow up. And then that's it. You don't keep on chasing this person, because here comes also the my expertise in personal branding. When people, they try to be clingy, they try to be chasing other people, which will eventually backfire on them, because you have to respect the privacy and the space, the personal space of people. So people, they don't have to respond to you immediately. Like, you never know, these people, they are maybe busy with meetings, with work, they are on holidays, they are with family, they are sick at the hospital. Like last time, something very funny. I have a friend of mine who was telling me that I was sending follow-up emails. And then this person, after 10 emails, he responded that, please remove my number from your database because I am in the hospital. So it's very important to respect this personal space of people. And this is something that I face on daily basis. Because of my work, I work closely with young adults between 18 to 24. All the initiatives that I launched in collaboration with universities, and even here in the UAE and all different part of the Arab world. So I receive a lot of requests. I receive a lot of messages on daily basis. I receive a lot of requests for job opportunities. From here, I got inspired on developing and growing this idea of personal branding. First thing, as I mentioned, privacy is very important. You have to be very professional while using specifically this professional platform, LinkedIn. So initially, LinkedIn was created to connect people, professional people together. But nowadays, what I'm seeing, that people, they are using LinkedIn for different purposes. Like, let's give an example. You cannot connect with a person. First, you don't have a proper profile picture. You don't have a profile picture at all. This is a red flag. You have a profile picture wearing a hat or wearing sunglasses with unprofessional outfit. This is another red flag. People will not take you seriously. You will connect with people by sending first message, and then after a few minutes sending another follow-up. Why you're not answering me? Why you're not replying to me? Or not taking into considerations that, like, the time zone of people. Maybe I want to connect with someone who's living in the States or in Canada or in Indonesia, a different time zone. It's maybe 3 a.m. in the morning at their time. How do I expect to connect with these people and being clingy, following them, sending repetitive emails, and then blaming why they are not responding? Like ending the email with regards with a heart or a rose, or saying, my dear, I just met you. How I became your dear, my dear, or something that's like not professional in terms of terminologies. So you have to take into consideration all these elements. You have to show you are someone professional, someone that I can take you seriously, whether for job opportunities, if I'm applying to a job, or if I want to grow my connections, or if I want to work on my own business. So all these elements and criteria, the other person, the receiver, will take it into account. Like, this person, why they are showing this kind of attitude. So a lot of time, I'm sad to say it, like, a lot of time I block people because they cross the limits. A lot of time I don't respond to people because they are not showing respect, and they are not respecting the boundaries. And this is very important in our personal branding. What's personal branding? Personal branding is our digital identity. We also call it persona. The persona is the first impression that people will take about you when they connect with you. So now, if I want, like, you are a random person. I'm just searching about, let's say, myself, Solange. So people will judge me, unfortunately, and will get the first impression based on the content that I am sharing on my personal account, whether social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, whatever account. And this first impression is very hard to forget.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And very hard to
100%.
change. So now, if I feel like this person is not someone serious, it's very hard in the future to change my mind whether I want to hire this person. Like, I would keep in my back mind that this person is not serious. She will not fit in the company culture. Or this person is stubborn, or this person chasing, aggressive, whatever negative attitude I'm showing on my social media. So this will last very long at the audience.
Interesting.
Yeah,
You know
that's
that's the saying, right?
yeah.
First impression's always the last one. Last
Yeah.
impressions.
First impression, it's very important, and we have to. So let's give another explanation to the personal branding. Personal branding is what people say about you when you are not in the room. So whenever, like, if I'm not here, if I'm not present, what people will say about me. It's very important to leave positive impression when you leave the room, and even when someone will Google your name, what they will find. So this is why I always advise the young adults that I work with them to be very keen and very cautious when they create content and post it online, whether videos, reel, write articles, blogs, any content that you're publishing it and making it public, something that the audience will consume and will see online. It's very important to be very careful, because this is very hard to erase, to change, and to make people forget about it.
When you mentioned that, there was this story that just clicked in my mind. So there was this one time when I was scrolling, and I think it was a social media post that, so there was this lady who was probably our age, and she's just landed an internship at NASA. So she went on Twitter and she goes like, "Hey, I just landed this internship," and then used a few slang, not a slang word, but abusive words.
Yeah.
But it was not to abuse anybody, it was just out of excitement.
Oh, like
And somebody senior from NASA actually saw that post and commented on it like, "Hey, maybe be polite or something, like be nice about it." And instead of actually finding out about who the person is who's commented, she went back and she abused the person even more.
Ooh.
And that led to her losing the internship. And I'm like, it's very,
Yeah.
because our age, it's completely digital. And even now, I can still find posts from, I don't know, when I was 15 and 16 that I might have posted on Facebook, which has now all been deleted.
Yeah.
But it's so important to actually be careful about what you're posting, when you're posting, especially with this age and now. And I just wanted to follow up and continue on that. I know you work a lot with the younger generation.
Yes.
So is there something that maybe ticks you off and you're like, what are you doing?
Initially, from where this idea of working closely with the younger generation or the Generation Z, because I felt the need that this specific generation and age group, they need a lot of mentoring, they need a lot of guidance. They feel that they are not heard, no one is listening to them, and no one is taking them seriously. So here came the idea of launching my own initiative called Be Part of the News, in collaboration with Akhbar Al-An and Al-An TV. So the purpose of this initiative was to visit universities, to meet students, to listen to them, and to try to find solutions. So one of the main two issues that the young adults are facing in the Arab world, lack of opportunities, and therefore this will lead to lack of income, and they are not making money. So how to solve these issues and challenges that the young adults are facing? By giving them the opportunity to be part of the news, to contribute to our newsroom by sharing documentaries, stories that they are creating, and then we will assess them, we will post them on our platform, and then they will be recognized and they will be monetized for this content. So we're trying to
That's
solve two
super
issues:
great.
the lack of opportunities. So now you're working closely with a professional organization, a media organization. You're sharing your content, so you have to work hard to create something relevant, interesting story, something that would resonate with the audience, will go viral, will generate a lot of views and engagement. This is one. Number two, you want to get this money in return.
Yeah.
So we're solving these two issues. So through this initiative, I had the opportunity to meet with 1,000 students just
That's
last
lovely.
year and this year. I visited, I'm very proud of this, and it's very fulfilling for me on personal and professional level, because I had the chance to visit 7 universities. I was awarded in one of the most esteemed universities called the SAE in Jordan, and I received a lot of positive feedback, whether from the students or from the principals, even from the media in the respective countries, starting from UAE and then going to Tunisia and then going to Jordan. And recently I've been to Iraq and Erbil, Kurdistan, Iraq and Erbil. All the visits, like these workshops and the lectures that I delivered at these universities, they were very positive. It gave a lot of positive impact, and it left a lot of positive impact at the students. They connected with me. They said, we're very happy that you visited. You are our role model now. I was very happy from this. But what I've learned, that despite like the geographic difference between like the MENA region, the Levant region, and the North Africa, all the youth and the young adults, they have the same challenges, and they want to start. They have the will. They want to do something. They want to leave an impact. They want to change, but they don't know where to start and how to start. So it was a perfect occasion for me to give them some tips, some opportunities where they can use the social media, which is now user friendly, and we all have access to the social media, to the technology, to the internet in a way or another. So they have to use it in the best possible way, and it will help them to build this personal identity, this personal branding, and to monetize, to generate money out of their presence. It's very important to have a strategy. So I advise them to have a proper strategy and to build on what you like. This is another interesting topic also, that's the young adults, they are scared from it, the artificial intelligence and how it's affecting our industry, especially the media. Because nowadays, like previously, we used to have maybe 20 people as news editors, as graphic designers, as social media executives, doing all this job to post the news and the stories to the audience. Now we're no longer in need for this big quantity. Maybe we are in need for 2-3 people to make sure that this article that the AI is supporting to drafting it, to writing it, is correct, is abiding by the rules, the policies, and the culture of the media organization and its terms and conditions. And this is very serious. I mean, the young adults, they have to be very cautious, and all of us, we have to be very cautious and to be very ready for this big transformation. So one day the artificial intelligence will not take our jobs. So what I advise them, to develop the skills that you have within yourself. Like, I mean, we are all different, we are all unique, we have something that would differentiate us from other individuals, from other people. You have to find what's really special in you and develop those skills so you can stand out and be someone different, someone that your organization will not get rid of you. So this is basically what I discussed with them, what I advised them. They do a lot of mistakes. I mean, all of us, we do a lot of mistakes. And I also tell them not to be scared of making mistakes, because we are human beings.
Yes.
We have to learn from our own mistakes. So even if you will tell me, don't do this, avoid this, I will not learn unless I make myself the mistake. It will be like something that I will not forget. The lesson will be unforgettable. So it's very normal to make mistakes, but it's more important that we learn from those mistakes to make ourselves better human beings, to develop our skills, and to deliver better results.
That's interesting to mention because you said that you worked in like different countries, right?
Yes.
When you're like students and companies, so what are the things that you picked up on when working with these different countries?
Before traveling, let's say to Tunisia, to North Africa, I felt that I will have this challenge and barrier of language. Because obviously they have a different slang, different accent. So I thought this will be a challenge for me on personal level to communicate with these students. But thankfully, having lived in the UAE for the past 10 years and being in this cosmopolitan city and getting connected every day with people from different cultures, from different nationalities, so I felt like this is common for me. This is not something new. I overcame this challenge and obstacle of language. I mean, like, I didn't face any true challenge, except that I was very happy to learn from the young adults. They are very creative, they think out of the box, very excited. And during every visit, I was, like sometimes I was doubting myself, like, will people attend my lecture? Will they be interested to attend this kind of workshop? And then I was putting like expectations, like maybe I'm expecting this time 50 students, 70 students. And I was going to the ballroom and finding 200 and 300 students, all
Wow.
staring at me, all looking at me standing at the stage, giving like kind of empowerment, spreading positivity, giving advices to these people. It was something very fulfilling, something that I'm very proud of it, and I'm happy that I met each and every one of these students, and I'm very thankful for the universities who gave me this opportunity to visit them, because obviously, like, even if I have this initiative and the academic organization and the universities, they are not giving the chance to the students to grow their skills, to meet people, to think like this out of the box, so this will not happen. So also I want to thank all the universities who welcomed me. They were very positive about it, and all the results, they were like exceeding the expectations.
That's a lovely initiative. It's
Yeah.
honestly so heartwarming because I think we've just graduated like
Yeah.
three years ago. And when I was at universities, I always looked forward to these events. And our professors would push us. They're like, this event is happening, this competition is happening, you have to take part. And I still remember, I would be passing in the corridor and the professor would catch me and he'd be like, did you apply? I'm like, no, not yet. He's like, apply. And honestly, those moments are the ones that matter the most right now, because it's, taking part in those competitions or just being part of that event honestly taught me so much more than just being in the classroom, because it really gave me a different perspective to things. And also I was able to connect with so many more people. So it's so lovely that you're doing this, because it actually gives the younger generation a real feel to the
Empowerment.
yeah.
Yeah, and to be honest, I was the first media personality taking this initiative, and Akhbar Al-An was the first media organization to work closely with me to launch this initiative. So we were avant-garde. It was the first time that, and now I'm seeing a lot of people doing it and taking this initiative seriously and visiting universities and students. I mean, young adults, they are the future of all the societies. And where's the better location than finding them in their academic organizations and institutions?
Yeah.
So it was the perfect place to meet with them, to empower them, to listen to them, and to listen to their questions. I mean, they had a lot of questions to ask me. They were very interested, especially when like post these workshops and lectures, I was giving them like certificate of attendance. They were very happy, very grateful for this, that they participated in this kind of events, and listening to me, connecting with me. I mean, I'm not way older than this generation. I am millennials, but I can feel them. Like I still remember the days when I was a student myself. I was in the university, and it was very hard at that time. Social media wasn't present like that big. It didn't have much presence. So we had to do everything manually, whether research, whether starting to work with as interns, doing our internship. So it was a bit harder for us. So now I felt the need and the responsibility, because obviously media and journalism and storytelling, it has to have a certain humanitarian side, social responsibility side. So I had to take this responsibility of empowering and helping and supporting the young adults so they don't face much challenges and when kicking off their career.
You know, when you mentioned that when you were studying, you had to do your research manually, and I personally cannot, imagine myself actually doing manual research. It always has been, the internet. And I think the generation that is coming forward, it's going to completely rely on AI. They won't even do the manual searches that I used to do. They would not do the research that you used to do. So, in that aspect, when it comes to doing journalism or any job, do you think they're just getting lazier? Because right now, I don't think my generation would chase a story like I've seen the others do. They would actually go out, they would verify the facts, they would actually, look into, they would go to the depths of it. But right now, it's like if you have not found the story, you just let it go. Like, do you think that mindset shift is coming where people are just getting lazier and lazier and lazier?
Have you even seen that with the students that you work with?
Let me tell you that people who are ambitious about journalism and being storytellers, they have this ambition of telling the story. So what it takes to tell the story is going whether to the front lines, to a war zone, and being in the street, covering what's happening on ground, whether being a reporter or being in the studio. So the elements of a good story, it's way beyond than the artificial intelligence and Google. So to have your own satisfaction and to have your own fulfillment in journalism, so it takes all these elements of digging deep, of diving into the details of the story, doing the research that it takes to find all these elements to have your story something interesting and something that the audience would like to explore more, to know more about it. So whether it's a written article that you're publishing it online, or video script, or anything. So journalism is beyond the artificial intelligence. I'm always asked about this question when participating in panels and events, like how the AI is affecting the newsroom. And do you think that one day the AI will replace the reporters and the journalists and like the TV anchor, let's say? I always say that journalism is sharing the news and telling the news with your heart. The artificial intelligence has a wider exposure and they have wider information because obviously the artificial intelligence has bigger access to the data available online from this same topic. So they have a wider exposure to information, but they don't have the humanitarian side that we have. So they will just give you the information as is. But the journalist, they will give you this piece of information with emotions, with tears sometimes when covering news from the street, telling stories of human beings. So this is very important to keep this specific element of telling the story and the specific element of journalism. This is why I always say you have to develop your skills, not to be replaceable. So if you will just deliver the same results as the robot or the machine, so you'll be replaceable. But this human side, the emotions that we have, this will always differentiate us from the machines. So in my own perspective and in my own opinion, we will always be special. We will always be giving this, putting this humanitarian and emotional touch. But the AI is affecting the business in a big sense. So we have to be very cautious.
And what would you say are the main skills that you would advise the younger generation to build keeping AI in mind so that they're not replaced?
You have to get exposed to more courses. To like, I'm receiving a lot of emails, a lot of messages. Like, I want to be a TV presenter. The job of TV presenter is no longer existing. There's no more job called TV presenter. The TV presenter nowadays is the person able to give you this piece of information or to give you this content, this video, to present the news, whether using a 5D camera or the mobile camera. So you can take your own mobile and shoot this piece of information or this breaking news. You have to be capable of doing it using the mobile, not wearing your full makeup, not doing your hair, not very well dressed. So this is telling the story. This is telling the story. And you can see, like, nowadays, the media organizations, they started to reduce this luxury that they had when it comes to studios. So all these studios, the big offices, the decor, the outstanding decor, it's no longer there. It's no longer available because you can have your own chroma and you can change with whatever graphics you want. And a small room will appear on the camera like a huge studio. So everything has changed. You have to cope with this word that's changing very fast. So there's no longer these traditional positions and the job opportunities like a TV presenter. The TV presenter is a content creator. It's this person able to write the article, to write the script, to write the story in a very attractive way.
So learn
to present
to write a
it
good
to the
story.
camera, to the audience, to do the editing, post-shooting, to put the thumbnails, to put the captions, to post it on the social media in a way that will garner the best engagement, the highest views, and then to share it on the social media so it goes viral. So it takes now all these elements to be a content creator or a media personality or a TV presenter. So you have to widen your horizon. Like, you don't have to limit yourself to what you have graduated from. Like, if I'm now a graphic designer, you have to make a lot of courses. You have to develop your skills. You have to find what are the updates now, what are the new courses, what are the latest development when it comes to Premiere, to AI, to After Effects. All these elements you have to be exposed to know and ready to learn more, because everything is changing and it's growing and it's moving very fast. So I don't have to just stick to my graduation or to my certificate. Like, I am a journalist, so I don't get exposed to other areas. I just want to work as a radio presenter or TV presenter. This doesn't work anymore, because you will be asked to many areas that maybe you're not getting exposed to, you're not learning more. So you always have to learn, to see what's happening in the industry, to learn from other people, to motivate yourself, not to be laid back, not to be just sitting at home negative. I'm not finding opportunities. The market is full of opportunities, especially post-COVID. Working from home is more familiar to organizations and it's more common. It's becoming more and more common. Being a freelancer is becoming more and more common and acceptable for people. Like, previously, in the traditional way, we used to think like, I need to find a full-time job, a 9-to-5 job. This is my ultimate dream. I need to find this job. But nowadays, being a freelancer is more beneficial. Like, I can work with different organizations as freelancers to get the experience of different sectors, different industries, to work from home, to travel a lot. So things are changing. So you have to adapt and to be open to the changes, to cope to the market changes. So you can always find for yourself an opportunity.
Speaking of freelancers, I don't know, I'm not extremely 100% convinced, because when you're a freelancer, you can work from anywhere in the world, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when I live here, companies prefer to hire a freelancer who's probably living somewhere in another country, and it's much cheaper to hire, which just takes my job opportunity away.
Yeah.
So in that way, I'm like, I don't know if I'm so on board with companies always working with freelancers?
This is something also when it comes to companies, and especially what happened during COVID, that it became more and more acceptable and familiar for the companies for them to have someone working hybrid and someone working completely from home from a different country. This is reducing expenses to the companies because obviously, as you have mentioned, some people working from different region, they are way cheaper because they are not having the expenses of having an office, having employees. So you just have your own cost. And especially in the countries where there's conflict and war, and people, they are willing to work for any budget, and where some countries, they have currency fluctuation, depreciation in the currency. So maybe let's say $500 for them is a big amount, whereas here it's something very minimal or something very basic for you to make an income and to survive and to live. So this is something that the companies are more and more open, because obviously it will reduce their cost.
Yeah.
The visa, the insurance, all these expenses, they will waive it from them and from the PNL. And with the freelancer, you can stop working with them. You can just tell them, we don't need your service anymore. So it will not take the consequences of paying them extra, giving them 3 months, 1 month, whatever. So it's more convenient for the companies. It's less convenient for the people. But I see it as a good opportunity. You have your full time. You have your time to work with different companies, with different individuals. And it's very important to have, like, time is money. Your freedom is money as well. So having this flexibility of working from home and maybe working less hours than a 9 to 5. Like, I'm not encouraging people to stop working 9 to 5. We will always have this 9 to 5 work. But I mean, it's also important to have balance in your life. At a certain time, you need to create some balance to protect your mental health. And also, by being a freelancer, as I mentioned, you will work with different industries, with different organizations. This will give you better exposure than being, like, for me, all my life, I've been working in the media, entertainment, technology. So now if I want to work, let's say, in the banking sector, they will tell me, you don't have the banking background. If I want to work in the healthcare sector, they will tell me, you don't have the background of healthcare. Whereas if I'm working like freelancer on some projects in different sectors, I will have this expertise. So you have greater chances of working with several entities at the same time. This will grow your exposure, this will grow your experience, and you can charge the amount that you want. I mean, you don't have to stick to a certain amount every time.
True.
Like, the more you have experience, the more money you can charge to these organizations. And working in country like here in the UAE, tax-free, the money is all yours. So you can use it to grow maybe your own company, your own brand, to have your own, your own boutique agency, let's say, in the PR and the social media. I see it in a very positive way. And it's good to adapt it, and this way you will always be triggered.
Yes.
Because working from 9 to 5, you are sure and certain that end of the month you will get your salary. Whatever deliverables, whatever work you will do, you're getting your salary. But when you are a freelancer, this is a trigger. You have to wake up every day in a positive mindset and a positive mentality to find a new opportunities so you can make more money. So this is a good trigger, a positive trigger. So see it from the positive perspective.
That's a lovely take on it.
Yeah.
And just speaking on media, how do you maintain a work-life balance? Because media is an industry that is just always switched on.
Oh my God. And this is very tiring. You have to always be connected. You have to always be updated on what's happening around you, around the world, all the news. You have to be someone unique, someone different, someone offering something different to stand out among this competitive market, because it's very competitive, especially now with the presence of social media. It no longer it no longer requires to have been graduated from journalism and mass comm. So everyone nowadays, they call themselves like, I am a media personality. So what did you do exactly? I created like 3, 4 videos. So everyone is calling themselves journalists, media professional, media personality, news personality, because it's open. You have your bio on your social media. You can write whatever you want. So no one will control this, no limits. So you have to be someone really different. But I always say that we all have this 24 hours, and you have to use it in a very healthy way. 8 hours dedicated to work, 8 hours dedicated to sleeping, good to have a good quality sleeping time, and 8 hours to distract from work, and at the same time developing yourself, whether by working out, doing sports, yoga, eating healthy, connecting with people, going out with friends, connecting with family, which is nowadays it's very rare to find family gathering all together at the same time, same day, because everyone is distracted, everyone is busy with their own life.
True.
So it's very important to have this life balance, so you are productive in your 8 hours of work. If you miss or if you lack good sleeping hours, you will not be productive. You will wake up in the morning tired, demotivated, negative. So you'll not be productive. And if you're not investing in your mental health by reading, by simply not doing anything, like sometimes really I feel the need of not doing anything, just maybe for 30 minutes, not doing anything, staring at the ceiling, doing nothing, just to relax. So it has to be like kind of balance. So whenever you are at work, you are very productive, you are very positive, you can come up with new ideas, you can take correct decisions, because it's very important to have decisions on point, because obviously this will affect your future, your goals, your current position, and how you see things. So I always advise young people not to get addicted to social media, because this is what I'm seeing, unfortunately, especially the young adults who's always connected to their mobiles, especially on TikTok. They are having this live streaming during all day long, maybe all night long, just to get some, I don't know what you call
Instant
them.
gratification.
Yeah. So this is very dangerous, because this way you're just telling your body that be lazy, you don't have to be productive, you don't have to sleep correctly, you don't have to have any rules, any regulations, anything. Like, I'm just sitting in front of the screen and someone is sending me coins, sending me money. I'm making maybe $1,000, $2,000 by end of the month, and this is more than enough for me. So this is very dangerous. We have to, I'm not saying like you have to deactivate your account, not being present, because also this is a red flag when it comes to personal branding. Because if you don't have presence, if you're not coping with the technology and the development of and what's happening around you, this is also a red flag. But you have to find the balance. You have to prioritize your mental health, and then your career, and then sleeping correctly, so you can grow all the perspective on all the elements in a better way, in a good way, in a healthy way.
Just lastly, touching a little bit on the financial aspects. Have you ever had a breakdown in terms of this is how much I'm going to invest on myself, or this is how much I'm going to invest on my education? Maybe a breakdown that you have followed throughout.
I was attending the other day a very interesting panel, and this is something, it was a wake-up call for all of us. It was just, the attendance was just ladies, just women, and they were having this lady, the CEO of Franklin, talking about how we can invest properly, how we can be wise when when it comes to financial perspective and elements. I was surprised that a lot of women, they are not aware of this financial element and how to invest wisely. So first thing first, we as women, we live longer. We have longer longevity than men.
True.
So we have longer retirement time than men. So we have to start from an early age to invest and to save money to guarantee that we will have a comfortable retirement. And this has to start not necessarily on an early age, but you have to start taking it seriously, because we have more tendency of spending than saving.
True.
Yeah, we have more tendency of spending than saving. And we have this fear of investing like with big amount. Like now, if let's say, for example, you have 500,000 dirhams, we have more tendency of saving this amount than investing it in a big project that would generate maybe triple of the capital. So we are more cautious than men. Men, they take the risk. If they have this amount, they will take all this amount and invest it, and they will eventually get more money. But for us, we are less risk taker. So we don't like to take this big risk. So we tend to keep this amount at the bank and save it, which is not beneficial for us on long run. So you have to have a strategy to invest in something that you understand it. And I always recommend to ask a financial advisor to see, like, maybe the ROI, the return on investment in real estate, is the highest among other investment. But for me as person, I'm not a fan of real estate. Like, I mean, I don't see any growth. I don't see like I belong to this industry, to this sector. I don't understand. I don't know how to communicate, to negotiate. So I don't have to do it. Maybe it's better for me to invest in cryptocurrency, or it's better to invest in bonds. So you have to ask a financial advisor to have your investments made in a proper way, in a wise way. But it's always important to start from a point and always take into consideration that you have to invest across all perspective of our life. In education, as you have mentioned, because obviously this will empower us, will grow our capacities, our knowledge, our expertise and exposure. You have to invest in your health. You have to invest in your like connections, events, going out, in your social life. You have to find a balance where you spend money wisely, but you always also have to take into accountability that you need to make money for the longer run.
That was lovely advice.
But what sort of, since you like work with a lot of youths and they're earning as well, like you said, you pay them, what sort of advice would you give, financial advice would you give to them, since they're starting out with probably a low income?
I mean, when it comes to financial advice, maybe I'm the last one you can ask her, because I really started very recently to take this topic seriously, because I was looking at this specific area from a chaotic side or chaotic angle. Like, whatever I was making, I was investing on my education, I was investing on my mental health, I was doing everything just to make myself comfortable, living happy life.
That's me right
and
now.
not a need for anything.
Same.
Yeah, it's very good to have yourself as priority. Not to say like, I wish I have this thing, but I cannot afford it. No, you have to afford it, because you have the capabilities and the capacity to get whatever you want. My advice to the younger generation: to start early, to get the proper education. So now social media, by using the social media and by being on social media, by the way, is providing, it has an educational part. So if you're searching for any specific topic, obviously the algorithm of the social media will start to give you content of interest. So you have to do your research. If you are interested in cryptocurrency, start it. Don't be afraid. Don't be laid back. Don't be cautious. Always it takes the first step to learn, and then you can learn from your mistake to improve and make better. If you are into real estate, buy your first apartment. Buy it, sell it in 2-3 months, sell it in 1 year, sell it in 2 years. But you have to start from somewhere, from a point. Because if you keep on thinking, like, this is not the right, there's no right time. If we will wait until older, if I'm waiting to be like the war will stop, if I'm waiting for the political situation to be better, if I'm waiting for, nothing will get better. It's today is the best time. So you have to be very strategic when it comes to your finances. You have to make money, you have to invest money, because having your money in the bank, eventually it's reducing the value of this money. Like 5 years down the line, $10,000 will not have the same value as $10,000 today.
True.
So you have to use this amount, whether by developing yourself, by working on yourself, offering yourself like free trips, offering yourself more education, offering yourself sports, yoga, buying more books. It's everything. Whatever you invest in yourself, one day it will give you results. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself, but at the same time, save money to have maybe one day your own business. And this is something like it has been proven. Like last year I was discussing in my podcast with one of the guests. He was telling me, like, nowadays people from 18 to 25, we have more percentage of millionaires than previously, than the millennials. So now the Generation Z kind of prioritizing money over education. So they are saying, like, if I'm getting from the crypto, from the Web3, from the blockchain, this amount, so why do I have to waste my time 4 years in the university and then investing in the education, whereas I can be a millionaire at the age of 18, 19, and 20. I don't support this idea. Education is very important. It's the most important element in a human being. This is in my personal opinion. Money is important, but education, being someone cultivated, being someone with good knowledge, someone knowledgeable. If you are in public and you'll be asked about any topic, you are ready to answer. You have the answer. You have the background. And yeah, money is important, so take the risk. Anyway, the Generation Z, they are more risk taker. They are more open to make money easier and faster than the millennials. So yeah, good for them.
That was lovely advice. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It was honestly
Lovely
one of my
having you.
favorites.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for
much.
having me today. It was I enjoyed the conversation with both of you, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. And we'll be sure to stay in touch this time.
Sure. Thank you.